Where'd you get the name Jomboy?
Oh, that's a bad story. So that comes from a autocorrect. My buddy's phone autocorrected Jimmy to Jommy when we were in college. And then my buddy, now who's my partner in all of this, Jake, he would just change it from Jomboy, Jommy, Jom Dude, Jom Kid. And it was like a running joke for maybe 2 weeks. But in those 2 weeks, I changed all my socials because I was applying for real jobs at the end of college to Jomboy. And now here we are.
And now here you are. And you first started with a podcast at age 17. Is that a true story? 2017.
No.
So when was your first time when you did that?
2017 was when we started Talking Yanks, which was our first podcast.
Right.
And it was just a hobby then. I was doing it after work on the side. I was living with my girlfriend at her parents' house. And I was just desperate to talk to anyone about the Yankees and live tweet every game and all that. So once the following grew a little bit, I started a podcast, and thankfully some people were tuning in.
There's no doubt about that. And before I have so many questions about your ascent before we actually settle into talking baseball with you. Jomboy of Jomboy Media here on the Rich Eisen Show. Have you ever gotten a call from Major League Baseball to say, knock it off, you're using our material? Did that ever happen with you?
No.
Jimmy?
No, that hasn't happened. I met up with someone at some event that was from MLB's social team, and they were incredibly friendly because I didn't know, and I don't want to ruffle feathers. I'd rather work with them than against them. And I didn't know how they felt, and they're like, "Oh, we got to work with you." And I was like, "Yeah, I'd love to, work together in some way and have the same goal." And they're like, "Yeah, if we're not working with you, like that's a shame." So that was the first step, and then I never heard back. And then last year we got some calls and tried to figure out some ways that we could work together, but I don't think we've ever landed on a specific plan. So we've never really partnered or anything. But as far as I know, that they're not upset with what I'm doing. Might be happy about it, and I've never gotten any complaints from them. They've helped us out a decent amount.
Well, I'm pleased to hear that because they should want your material to be out there, because it's to me, when you put out a video and you're breaking something down, and you're noticing something that I didn't pick up because I'm either I didn't have the sound up or something like that. I'm tuned in. I'm locked in. So even when you're showing how the Astros went through with banging trash cans at what time and how pitchers reacted and how they were clearly upset about it because they knew it was happening at the time, and we as fans weren't in on it just yet. I mean, baseball never said to you, knock it off. Never. Not once.
Not once. No, I've never had anyone reach out, and I'm sure there are people that dislike it. That's only human nature. But I've never had a player or anyone reach out and say they weren't a fan of what we were doing. I mean, I'm not saying they don't exist. They just have not spoken up and let me know. So it's all been positive on our end.
And the savages in the box. I mean, that obviously the video where you broke down how Gardner was bashing his bat on the top of the dugout, and Aaron Boone was arguing with the home plate umpire, and you were picking up on it. I mean, have you spoken to any of those Yankees since then, Jomboy, about all that?
Well, yeah, I was at an event, CC Sabathia's gala in 2019, and Aaron Boone. It was pretty close to right after that happened, and the Yankees had made some statements that they weren't thrilled, and they wanted to look into how to stop audio getting leaked, and I understood what they were saying and why they were saying it. So Boone came up to me, and he just kind of nudged me from behind, and he said, "You're funny." And I said, "Oh, okay, so you're not mad?" And he was, "No, I don't care at all. It was awesome." And then I've had players from multiple teams. They'll DM me and say, "Hey, do this one. Our bench coach got ejected. It's hilarious." Or, "Hey, do this one." So, no, I even that, and I was happy about that because, I mean, it blew up Boone's spot, but only in a really positive way. I think it helped his image more than anything. It was hilarious. It was funny. And even some umpires were like, well, he said what he said, but he did it with compassion in a way. So
Yes.
I didn't think he would be mad about it, and I was glad to find out he wasn't.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.